Richie DeMarco and Denise Butchko for ConstructingYourBrand.com. Hey, Denise, what's going on?
Hey, Richie, I actually, this today's topic is about getting started with email marketing because you and I have talked about how important that is. And yet, I was recently doing a presentation in Ottawa, Canada, for the National Kitchen and Bath Association chapter there. And of an audience of 40 some people, when I asked how many were using email marketing, two two hands went up. So that's like a really low percentage, which tells us that people need information to get started with that. So that's what we're going to talk about for a few minutes today is what are the first things you need to do if someone's standing in front of you, inspiring you to get started with email marketing. Make sense?
Absolutely. And, a couple weeks ago, we discussed organizing your photos and getting your pictures together. Unfortunately, organizing your database and setting up your email marketing is going to be just as painful, if not worse.
Yeah, it's like the root canal of email marketing, but having a database is key. So the first two things that you need to look at are your database. Please God have one, and choosing an email service provider. So let's start with probably the painful one first, which is your database. Richie, tips about that?
Tips about that. So for me, you want to gather as much information as you can rather than just having an email address. Things like, first and last name, those need to be required fields. This way you can personalize your emails, let them know, it warms up the lead a little bit. Things like zip code, is it just a lead or was it actually a customer? What type of job did they have? What did they have done? All different ways to sort your list. This way the message can be different. An example would be, let's say you just did this awesome closet and the zip code was, 11204. You can now email
91210. 91210.
90102. I was going to say that. But instead I gave my Brooklyn one. But anyway, so let's say you did this awesome closet in Brooklyn and it's Mrs. Jones, and you can send a few pit photos, a problem you solved for Mrs. Jones, and email everybody in that zip code. You never know, somebody in your list that was just a lead and not actually a customer might know Mrs. Jones, and now how cool is that? You just made an instant referral, a possibility of getting business and making your phone ring really by doing nothing, not costing you anything other than a little, setting up your database properly and some sweat equity.
Yes. And you have Mrs. Jones's permission to do this.
Of course. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Like happy about this closet project. And you need to think about, so you don't, if it's too overwhelming and you're just getting started, first and last name, zip code, customer, or in this case of somebody who's doing kitchens or closets, is it a designer? Is it an architect? You want to segment that because those messages will be different. So that's a great starting point if you're trying to take your data and import it into an email marketing program, which is an email service provider. Like if we want to sound cool, we'll call it a ESP. Right?
That's right. So
choices.
Go ahead.
What choices do we have?
You're asking, okay, so choices. So I've used a few. In the email service provider, basically that is the program that is going to send out the emails for you. Of course, you could do this manually, but then that would be ridiculous. So you put together the spreadsheet, you get it into the software, and then you upload your email right to that software, and it sends it out for you. And we all get them, from Macy's and Amazon, and half the emails you receive are from an email service provider. I've used MailChimp, which the pros about MailChimp, getting started, it's really intuitive, it's free, and really easy to use. There are some limitations. I've never paid for the full version. The free version just it was lacking in some places, in my opinion. I've also used Constant Contact. I use that for the ACSP newsletters that I send. And it could be me, but I just feel like it's a little buggy. it is pretty intuitive. It's relatively easy to use, but it doesn't always do what it's supposed to. And I find myself a lot of times slamming my mouse down as if that's going to fix the problem.
You know what? Now that you mentioned that, I received yesterday a really nice email from a cool showroom at the Mart that actually they just moved, but and it was not doing, I'm looking at it on my phone and I thought, wow, I really want to see this information. I'm going to double check it on my computer. Now that you've pointed that out, though, it was from Constant Contact. So buggy. All right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's just like I said, it's just I don't know. Like I said, it could be me, but I just find it funky sometimes.
Yep.
Aweber is the one Denise and I currently use, and it's an awesome platform. It's got so much to offer. It is a bit tricky. There's a little bit of a learning curve on that when you're using it. The good thing about Aweber is that it integrates with probably pretty much anything you'll ever need, and from your website to other tools that you might be using, and their customer service is awesome. They will not let you off the phone until they have fixed your problem or you feel good enough that you could solve whatever it was that you were calling them about. So that's the one we use, and that's the one I would recommend. You have to think long range with this, not what you're doing today. Sometimes switching can be tricky, but so those are the three that I've used. There are a couple others out there. I don't know, Denise, do you have any other experience with any other ones out there?
I have some experience with eye contact, and I use that, and then I switched to Aweber. And so the switching process is not great. What I find a challenge a lot in doing social media marketing is that so many things are new, so many tools are coming out to use, and you don't know what the end game is. I don't know what my end game is. Hands up, I don't know. I have great ideas, but we'll see. Everything is going to be maneuvered. So if you can get it in your mind that it is a long game and pick a tool that is you think going to give you the most latitude to be able to do what you might want to do in the future. And I don't know I can't come up with a great analogy other than that. I think that you need to be open to that. So that is why, based on other professional recommendations, Richie and I both started using Aweber, is because that was going to give us the most opportunity to use a lot of other tools that we wanted to use. And if what we've said is kind of making your head spin a little bit, we are available for consultation. We do that actually professionally. So we weren't saying this with the intention of freaking you out, but if there's things you don't understand or you want to get clearer about, you can follow the recordings that we're doing about this, but you can also, oh my God, hire us to help you through that strategic process. And I think that, yeah, this is a pitch, but that part is uber important, because one strategy is you can just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks, but we could help you maneuver that much more effectively and much more efficiently for that long game that you want to win.
And you're right, Denise. And I'll just end on this. I know this does seem, like I said, overwhelming and a lot of work. And for those of you that don't have a list at all, you're like, oh my God, do I really need one? Well, from all the people out there that we follow and anything out there on email marketing or newsletters, I don't want to call it newsletter, but email marketing, they all say that this is as close as you can get to legally printing money. If you have a really good email group and a really good list, when you send out those newsletters, send out those posts and engage them, you can really your phone can ring. So it is worth the time and energy that you put into it.
Ring, 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 ring. Wait, I got to answer a call from the person who just saw my email marketing piece.
That is great. On that note, thank you so much, Denise. Have a great day. This is Construct Your Brand, Denise Butchko and Richie DeMarco. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and keep those questions coming. Thank you so much. Bye.